Welcome to NinjaCast, a photography podcast powered by Studio Ninja, the world's highest rated business management app, built specifically for photographers. Listen and learn as the most successful photographers on the planet share their knowledge to help you transform every element of your photography business. Here's your host, Sally Shaw.
Hi guys, welcome to NinjaCast. Today I'm joined by the lovely Emma and Rich. We're going to be covering all sorts today, from booking chilled out couples to taking fun photos to making sure that you adopt a positive mindset and a positive attitude whilst you're shooting. Let's get started. Hi Emma, hi Rich, how are you?
Hello, we're good. We're good.
Good. Thank you so much for carving out some time in your busy schedules to come and chat with us. I really appreciate it.
No worries. We were having a beach day today.
And look at me doing it all on a beach day.
Well, it was a bit cold, and it's the North Sea, so it's not that tropical.
It was just to take the dog down to get him tired out, so hopefully he'll be quiet for half an hour.
Oh, we'll see. We all love a dog, so it's all good if he decides to join in. So Emma, Rich, for our listeners that might not have heard of you guys, would like to know a little bit more about your background. Run us through your journey, your career so far. What brought you to today?
Myself, I've had a varied career to this point, from retail through to office work, through to being a video editor.
Love that.
For about 5 years, for a yellow directory that shall not be named. And then I went to a few weddings where I got asked to make cakes. I got a little DSLR. Little Canon 1100D and a kit lens and one memory card and one battery. Took loads of photos at those weddings, and everyone said they preferred them to their proper pictures.
Oh wow. So
then I sort of took a few more photos, and then someone said maybe you should do some more. So I went out one day and I said, set up a little Facebook page, me on it, I'll do a wedding. And then I just started booking weddings.
Wow.
I haven't shot any weddings on my own properly. I've just been at like friends and relatives' weddings where I had sort of been officially shooting them, but like as a friend kind of thing, which is often the case, I've found when I've spoke to other people. And then you came along one day because...
Well, I was a joiner. I was a shop fitter for 20 years. But I had a nervous breakdown.
Oh, but...
Went completely and utterly mental.
Yep.
And it was getting to a stage where I had like quite severe agoraphobia and just didn't want to be out around people at all.
And PTSD.
And depression and anxiety and
all the things. We had everything.
Yep.
Yeah, it was everything. But my therapist I was talking about how you were going out shooting weddings, and she went, "Well, that's perfect. You can take a camera, go with her for like say an hour or so in the evening.
Hide in a corner.
You can be around people, but have something else to focus on other than people." So I did that for a wedding. Got like 3 shots.
No, 10. You got 10 in.
I got 10.
I always remember.
10 good photos.
I used 10 of them. It was like a night do, because I'd shot the wedding on the Friday, and then you came with me just for the night on Saturday. But they were having a big sort of it was like a mini festival kind of a night in a barn, loads of different bands on and stuff. So you're like, oh, I'll come see the bands anyway because I can stand in the corner, have hog roast, and hide behind a camera.
Bonus.
And then the next one you came with me because I pulled my back out, and this was only like maybe number 6 or something on the World of Weddings.
Yeah.
And I pulled my back out and I was like, I can't carry my bag, and it was a friend of a friend. So you came with me and he started getting step ladders out, and I can clock him. We're outside in this lovely village hall field, and I can clock him at the back on like a rickety step ladder taking a picture, and I'm like, oh, what's he doing? We're all gonna die.
I just thought it might be a better photo from up there.
And that has shaped everything really, which we will talk about.
Started out like that, I suppose.
Started out like that.
Absolutely. And then so we've kind of got a bit of backstory of you both there. Then you came together.
Yeah, it worked so well from the off straight away. We realised it. Some people say they could never work with the other half. We're together. We've been married 12 years. We've been together 20 years this year.
Wow, congratulations!
And it just works so well that we didn't aim to do this, but the more we did, the more we loved it. And then I fell out of like where I was working, I fell out of love with that. I wasn't very well either. Was I? Yep. And then we both weren't very well and went, actually, should we just give this a go and just quit all our jobs?
Love it. You've got to have a fear though, haven't you? You've got to have something that says, this is it now.
That was definitely a drive, like pushed us, didn't it? It just absolutely.
We have to make this work, otherwise we lose everything.
Yeah. So, we live in my mum's garage kind of thing, yeah. So yeah, and then we've gone from there really.
And fast forward to today, how many weddings are you guys shooting together per year?
Normally, non-COVID years, I think we're averaging about 25,
25, yeah. Usually, we'd like more. We try and get more, but it seems to be how it falls. So we don't argue, and we just get them at the most random times of year as well. So we will get January and February, and we said no December this year because we shot on Christmas Eve last year, and it was a bit much driving home for Christmas, which was quite fun. But it was a bit. We didn't have any decorations up or anything. So last year was just it just happened, and we did it, and we survived it, and it's all good.
I think we've done like Christmas time weddings for like the last 4 years or something. Yeah. So let's have one for ourselves this time.
And I always try and get all my editing done as well by Christmas. So I can relax. Because I want everyone to have their pictures for Christmas. And I know not everyone's precious about that, but I think it's sweet.
I'm totally with you there. I find I end up shooting as many weddings throughout December as I do in July and August. And I shot a wedding on the 23rd last year, which was my last one.
Same.
But I'd done kind of the 18th and the 11th, and I think the 2nd and 3rd as well. And I just had it in my head, even the 23rd couple, everyone had to have their images by Christmas.
No, we did them a preview, didn't we? Yeah. I think they got 9.
We didn't do a full gallery, did we?
No, because that's one thing we like to try. Not last year we couldn't do it, but normally we try and blog within a week. We try and get our blog post done within a week, which also acts as their main big preview. Yeah. So we try and get them like a small social media preview, because generally, I think I would say 98% of our couples are fine with everything just going straight onto social media. But we try and do that within a couple of days and get them a blog post out within a week, because we find that we get so much traffic, and it works for just keeping the momentum going. And all the other couples that are coming up next, they get excited, and then they share it, and then just all sorts of people share stuff. Yeah. We couldn't manage it last year. We still got a handful of weddings from last year to blog. Most of them. But we're getting there slowly. But yeah, normally we try and get them out. We shot one, was it last Thursday? Yeah, in London. That was the first one of the year, actually. So they've had their preview. So we quite like to see them a blog this week, and then it's Easter and stuff. It's a little bit different, but
snowballs, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's one of our tips we like.
It's really good for SEO.
It's a really good for SEO as well. Yeah.
Everybody that was at the wedding wants to see the pictures. They're still, excited.
Invested, excited. Yeah, they're still, because they're like, oh, what did they take? Because quite often people look at us and go, well, what did they get any good ones? And then we go, couple.
Yeah, only one or two.
Yeah, one or two. That's generally our answer, isn't it? Yeah.
Might be a good one in there somewhere.
Absolutely. So, I mean, you guys obviously are loads of fun. You can tell by the way you vibe off each other that you're just fun people. I know that for you, for your wedding photography, taking photos in a fun manner and also taking photos that are just loads of fun is a big thing for you guys. So I know so many photographers, they feel the stress on a wedding day, don't they? And they think, we're so worried about getting the safe shots and the shots that we know we need to get, that often fun sometimes is an afterthought. So what's your advice for photographers that, they really want to be taking those fun photos, but often it's just not the first thing on the night?
I mean, for us, one of our mantras is get the safe shot and then play.
Yeah.
So we get the safe shot. We will I will stress and worry, and we have nervous poos, and we're the same as everybody else.
I've got Imodium in my wallet all the time.
Emergency stop. We both do, and then it's just one of those things. We get what we know we have to. If that makes sense. Mm-hmm. I do definitely, because I've been doing this I was doing this on my own first, so I always get those expected shots that you think you're going to get. They probably will never hit our website. Group shots unless they're silly. Loads of stuff doesn't go anywhere near our website that you think sort of what a wedding photo should be, what I always say to people. But then we just make sure that
Yeah, we still get all those expected shots, the standard sort of wedding shots that you expect to see in a wedding album.
But then we just keep shooting.
Yeah, keep going. I think most of us, any experienced wedding photographer, is going to be able to get those shots in the bag fairly early on.
Yeah.
Like, and then I don't know what other people do, but I'm like that. Right, I've got it. Now what can I get that's
now
better?
What can we do?
What can I do
That's
to play?
a big
Now
part
what?
of that feeds into our creativity as well. Is right, we've got that. What's next? What else is happening here? What else is in this scene? It's like you've got the confetti shot. You turn around, there's people still sort of. There's stuff happening behind you, so we're like little 360 sort of, always looking, always seeing what's going on, always just seeing what we can be shooting. And I know some people are very anti constant shooting. We're very. I mean, we probably don't shoot a lot in the grand scheme of things compared to some people. I know some people say we shoot loads. We shoot 10 to 12,000 shots a wedding between us.
Yeah, that's with two of us.
And that's for two of us, and we generally
many.
do about 12, 14-hour days. Another thing we do. So we're always shooting, unless we're eating. That's probably the only time we stop, isn't it? If we ever get a chance to have a sit down. Yeah. I don't like to sit down because then I won't get going again. So if I do sit down for dinner, that's fine because I get a good hour. But if like if it's like street food kind of stuff and that, I will stand up. My watch the other day told me I was stood up for 14 hours.
Yeah.
Didn't sit down.
That's about right.
And that's about right. We were saying this before. It's people pay you a lot of money to do something for them just for one day. So you don't want to be hiding in the toilets. You don't want to be.
It's a big day as well.
It's a big day. There's always something going on. There's always something happening. Someone once told me very early in my photography career, and this is not necessarily right or wrong, but if there's nothing happening, you're in the wrong place. Mm-hmm. And that stuck with me as well. And
so we go hunting, don't we?
So we go hunting. So if nothing is happening, very rarely, okay, right, we'll have a breather. But I'll just start talking to people. Mm-hmm. And I'll just sit and then I'll be shooting, so just chatting away, and then just getting them on side, getting people on board, and. But yeah, so we're always shooting, and I suppose the other thing as well that sort of relates back to the original question of how to have fun and how do we always have fun is we're there right from not early doors, but a good couple of hours before the ceremony. Everyone's used to us. Everyone's relaxed around us. We're not the photographer. We're not constantly setting up shots. We're just, and I will give everyone a little speech. I'll say, right, everyone. If you need to get past, don't wait for me, don't do this. If you want a picture, just shout me, and I will give everyone like a little spiel. You have a similar thing, don't you, for whoever you're with on the morning. And we just... There's
normally someone going, I don't want to get in your shot, and I'm waiting for them to come into frame. Like, no, you have a shot.
I've looked across the room before and seen him with like a full queue of waiters with plates waiting to go past, and I'm like, no, go, he's waiting for you. Go. And I know he's got like,
I can see food going towards the people. And all
I can see what he's doing. I think that's what we're quite good at, seeing what each other is waiting for as well. But yeah, we get what we need to get, and I suppose that helps because there is two of us, and we sort of can guarantee one of us has got something. I've normally got the safest.
Yeah.
Inbuilt backup, yeah. Having someone with us. Sometimes we both don't get it.
No, don't tell people that.
once or twice, but then I don't know. It's just we just make sure.
There's always going to be moments you miss, isn't there?
Yeah.
It's part and parcel of the game.
The one time I remember the busiest wedding, the busiest dance floor I think we ever shot, and I finally caved and went for a drink, and as I walked back into the room, I could see the bride's mum being like lifted across the crowd of people, and I was like, never mind, she'll do it again. She did do it again. But she'd been up there once, she'll do it again. And they were like, do you want to go? I was like, no, I don't want to. I'm busy, thank you. But yeah, I think everyone was just taking turns being sort of crowd surfed in between the band.
So we've talked a little bit about kind of creative juices, being creative, enjoying yourself while you're shooting, which I'm sure you guys must have tons of fun when, you're shooting weddings. What are kind of your tips? How do you keep yourself motivated and excited to shoot creatively? Because I mean, we've all had those times where you stood on your feet, everything's aching, you're exhausted, you've maybe shot one the day before or you've shot one last week, and you just think, I just need to get what I need to get. those times I'm sure every photographer has had. So how do you push yourselves through that feeling to go, no, we need to be creative, we need to find the extra shots?
Few ways. We spoke about this recently. So we have sort of a few techniques. One is we challenge each other. So we have the infamous "go and get me," and this developed when I used to catch you zoning out on the side of like the room. It'd be tea time. It'd be like sort of for the global audience, early evening. It's the lull, and I'm just watching him, and I'm like, "Go and get me 3 people talking. Go and get me a shot through some glasses." And we just and then you started doing it with me when I zone out. So we started challenging each other, and now it's quite easy to get into that mindset to just be able to challenge yourself. And I'm like, because you just notice that you go,
I suppose it is a sort of skill, and like all skills, it takes practice.
You need to learn it. Yeah.
Bit of repetition.
But we made it into there's a web page on our website, Go and Get Me. That is basically, it's the only way I could find to do it, and it's a little random prompt generator. So if you've got Wi-Fi or like sort of signal, you can press a button if you're bored, and it'll be like, go and get me a shot lying on the floor. Go and get me a shot from the highest vantage point you can reach. Go and get me, and we just do that to each other, don't we? Yeah. All day. And also the challenge with us is we're constantly trying to better each other, so get a better shot than the other person. Which is so much fun and really annoying. And look at this, not chimping constantly, but if you sort of find yourself in a moment, you go, oh, look, especially when it's like, if we've been apart at some point in the day or like prep, we're not together very often. So look what I got this morning. It's like some cool silhouette or something. Like, what did you get? And we're just constantly challenging each other just to make something more interesting and more creative and just not normal, basically.
I think hunting for those better and more creative shots actually does help to keep the boredom away as well.
Yeah, very much so.
Just playing.
Just playing, and it's that get the safe shot and then keep playing. So you've gone round, everyone's had a canapé, and you've got a shot of every group of people, and you're like, right, what can I do now? Oh, there's some stairs over there. I'm gonna go get a wide shot, or you can take a step back. You can have a breather yourself. That's actually, there's quite a few of them snuck through the Go and Get Me thing, which is
have you, have a glass of water.
Yeah, have you had a lemonade today? And it's just things like that. It's just reminding yourself to have a bit of self-care as well. It's like, why am I feeling tired? Oh, I haven't eaten. Mars bar, energy bar, something. Just little things, because then you'll be on the ball even more, I'd say. Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it, when you know, especially when you're so focused on being creative, getting the safe shots, being there for your couple, worrying about, well, what if someone sees me sit down, or, you know, all the things run through your head, don't they, at a wedding for all photographers. And a lot of the time, the last things that run through your head is, I haven't had a drink in the last 6 hours, I haven't been for a wee in the last 12 hours, and I haven't eaten in 4 hours.
Where's my bag gone? Where did I put that? Where did I leave that thing?
Yeah.
What am I doing now? Yeah, what's next? What's happening next? And I get my thing out. Oh, 5 minutes to go. Right. Oh, better get my flashes on, kind of. Yeah. Just getting ourselves to it. Yeah, and we've built a massive routine around that as well. That's one thing when we talked about creativity, but we talked about how important it was to have a routine. Mm. So we have a very strict routine of generally premiering, big breakfast, the same playlist, emergency poo, same outfit. We have the same outfits. We have such a, like, if you see our blog post on our website, we did the best of 2021, which is all our favourite shots. We did the worst of 2021, which is all the shots of us that we've taken throughout weddings. It's become a bit of a routine now, but our couples love it. They just like that they can see us and they can see that we're down to earth, and it's just that it just gives us a bit more. Everyone greets us and says, "Oh, we got to know you from your website instantly," kind of thing. So
that's what you want, isn't it? As well, like that's the dream.
Yeah.
I'm saying with a routine though, I think it just frees up your mind for actually taking photos as well. You're not having to worry, oh, my battery's charged. You know they are because you've done it 2 days ago.
Yeah, your cards are there, your batteries are there, your cameras are clean.
What am I wearing? Same thing I'm always wearing.
Clocks are synced, yeah, and I've got my trainers, everything's right.
You've got a full belly, you're listening to your favourite music, you're in a clear headspace. And
Same CD every time. Well, it used to be a CD. Now it's Spotify download, but it's the same album every time. We've got into a routine now that, right, we hear that, we get in the zone,
Yeah.
And the other thing as well, sometimes we try and watch something good. So like the night before, or on the not on the morning as much, but if we're away, we're mostly away. So try and find something the night before, like the night you shot your best ever wedding.
Yeah, after watching the most recent make of
Conan the Barbarian.
I think it's Jason Momoa, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah. But it's not a brilliant film, but it's beautiful.
Who doesn't love a bit of Jason Momoa?
Good goes in, good comes out. Firm believers in that.
Love it. Fantastic. So, I mean, we touched very briefly there, guys, on your couples feeling like they know you before they've even met you. Your website does a lot of that groundwork for you. I would imagine that you book quite fun, carefree, chilled out couples that just have an amazing time. That's kind of, without knowing you guys, knowing your business, knowing your couples, anything like that, that's kind of the vibe I get. So is that right, first of all?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
I built the website so much as to put people off, as to attract people.
Yeah.
So there's double chins, there's big smiley faces, there's cake, there's drink, there's warts and not warts and all, but almost warts and all. Kind of, we want people to see reality, and most people that book us say the pictures look real and I could feel them. They're the most two important things. They look real and I could feel them. It's not like an ethereal dream of what you expect a wedding should be.
I think very early on we decided we had more of an idea of the sort of weddings we didn't want to shoot rather than what we did want to shoot.
And also, it took me a while because I kept trying to shoot in a particular way and shoot particular couples in particular backgrounds and to make it look like a certain aesthetic and have it all looking this, that and the other. And then I'd have people on bouncy castles going, ah! And it turned out that the more I tried to shoot how I thought weddings were supposed to look, the more people were just absolutely nuts around me in a good way, because that's the kind of vibe I was giving off. So everyone was having a great time. They were jumping on the space hoppers and this, and I'm going, I'd really like to get a nice romantic shot of, never mind. And then they're just there rolling down a hill, like sort of legs everywhere and everything. I'm just shooting it, and it's just sort of that. It just kept happening to the point that I was like, actually, there's something in this. And I just revamped everything, because at one point our website didn't look like how it looks now, and it was very serious, and it had a little cross on the logo, and it was a very sort of particular. It was super hipstery. It was 2016. Everything had a brown tinge. And I was like, this is what successful wedding photographers look like. So our work needs to look like this. And our work needs to, our website and our logo and everything needs to look like this. And then I was just like, but it wasn't suiting my pictures at all. Whatever we were taking and delivering, I still couldn't get those pictures. And then I sort of had a revelation, I think it was about 2018. 2017, 2018, we got the whole new preset going, the whole new set of colours. And I went, this is what I want. This aesthetic, this is what I want. And from then it's just been woof.
Everything just skyrocketed.
The clients kind of sort of led the way more than we knew where we were going, really. They took us down that path. Like, this fits, this works. There was less like mental friction as well, because we weren't trying to force anything to be something it wasn't anymore. It just became easy when we accepted it. Every
time I used to get a couple together, I'd be like, right, look at each of the series, and they'd burst out laughing, and I'd shoot it, and I'd get those shots, and I'd be like, oh, that's not what I wanted. And then when I realised it was about what they wanted, and getting the pictures that were for them, of them, representing them, and 5% of what I take's for me, and 95% for them. That's how I look at it now. If I and now I just go in. Actually, I'm like, right, what's the maddest thing we can do today? But they generally, like, we've already had Zoom calls this year going, oh well, we've booked space hoppers and we've booked giant Jenga, and we get all this stuff coming to us now because they've seen it on the website. It gives them ideas. And I mean, like last week we were on a riverboat, weren't we? On the Thames shooting a wedding. That's good sea legs I've discovered, which was fun. But it was just sort of the kinds of stuff. It comes to us more now than, like, very early on we shot a rave wedding in a basement of a theatre with sort of glow paints and glow sticks and all the gubbins. They forgot to cut the cake, so I just went, well, the venue guy just turned up with the cake. He brought it into the middle of the dance floor. They were absolutely wrecked. And they just cut the cake in the middle of the dance floor, and it had these like chocolate circles around it, and they just started wearing them, eating the cake, dancing. And I just carried on shooting instead of going, oh, that's nice and fun, but it's not really what I want
Instead
for my
of going,
pot.
oh, maybe we should place it on the table and
Do it properly.
Like,
Get a proper picture for your portfolio kind of thing. Because I used to think more about my portfolio. Now I think more about what makes a good picture and what represents people. That's the most important thing to me now. Is that a good representation of the person and their personality and them as a whole, rather than what I want.
People often say to me on the morning, is there anything you want us to do? And it's just like, no, just carry on and just be yourself. Just don't worry about me at all.
Another mantra. We have a lot of mantras. Another one is, if you don't have a plan, nothing can go wrong.
I love that.
Quite often we have a guideline, set of guidelines for the day and timings and places to be, and that's about it.
Yeah, just so we don't get lost.
So, but yeah, and it's more a case of, I don't go in with going, right, well, that's where the building is, so that's where sunset's going to be. So if that happens, because 9 times out of 10 we don't get sunset, we live on the wrong side of the country.
What? Sunset's everywhere.
Yeah, I know, but not where we live.
It does. Yeah, night time.
Oh yeah, but I know the sun sets, but we never get those pretty
beautiful American glowy
American style.
It's normally behind a cloud or a hill or something.
Yeah, it's generally behind a hill or a building or something.
Yeah.
So, but if you go in with those ideas of, well, I want this sunset shot and I want this shot by the barn might be closed off, X, Y, and Z might happen. Then you get sad, and then you don't do your best work. So many years ago, we had weddings where 2 or 3 things happened on the bounce where we got sad. I got sad because I didn't get that shot that I pictured in my head. I got loads of other amazing shots, but because I didn't get that one, it brought me down. And then I realised it was my attitude that was bringing me down, because I still got loads of really good shots. But what I had to do was that I had to realise that everything I got was good. Stop going in thinking, I need this shot here, because I'll just get whatever shots I get wherever. If I can make something amazing, that's going to be that amazing shot. Stop. You'll see what you've got after. It's more like a lucky bag rather than going in with a set idea, isn't it?
That's one of my little mantras.
Is it?
It's just, all I ever do is just try and take the best photo I can of whatever's happening in that moment. I'm not trying to force anything to happen.
No.
Just,
going in with that
kind of... I'll get a good photo.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you there, Rich.
Right.
Going in with that kind of positive attitude, positive mindset, I think it's, again, like you said, you've got to train yourself into it. You've got to teach yourself that that's the way it is. That's the way it happens. Because, everyone has their down days, don't they? Everyone's human. Everyone, if you wake up and it's not a great day and you're at home, it's not so bad. But if you wake up and it's not a great day and you've got to go out and shoot a wedding, often that can have an impact, can't it? So maybe some top tips from you guys on that. How do you make sure that you're shooting in that positive mindset, that positive state?
We lie to ourselves. Some days we might be having a horrible day. Some days I get really bad headaches, or something might happen where I'm not feeling too good. I have bad knees at the minute. We're trying to figure out things like that, and I might be in pain, and I'm like, right, today I'm going to have a good day no matter what. And some days I have to lie to myself. Some days we have our routine that gets us into our mindset, our wedding mindset, and then we go in sort of like you will always say sometimes, what's that thing you say about weddings? And you go in sometimes, you don't like weddings.
Outside of photographing weddings, I'm not particularly interested in weddings or photography.
No.
But ask me to photograph a wedding and I'm 100% there, focused.
Yeah, so...
But I think a lot of this comes from, we both had our mental health problems.
Yeah.
And to cope with that, we learned mindfulness. Which is the process of identifying your emotions, your physical reactions to them.
Listening to your brain.
Listening to what's going on and going, oh, wait a minute, I'm feeling bad because so-and-so. So as soon as you start to recognise these little triggers that set you off, you just go, no you don't, brain.
Yeah.
I'm not listening to you today, I'm going to shoot a wedding. And it's, gaining control through mindfulness.
And that's easier said than done sometimes, isn't it? You can imagine that's taking some real hard work to be able to just go, right, it's wedding time, let's game.
And again, it's a skill that needs to be practiced. We've been doing it for years and years. Yeah. Just
4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, for quite a few years now, where we've got to days and gone, we don't want to do today. And it's like, actually, if we just sit and have 5 minutes, why don't we want to do today? oh, I've got a headache, and maybe I'm hungry, and maybe this didn't go our way, or we're like, we didn't win an award today. No. But daft things, like it might literally be like we've got a new kitten. The kitten scratched me again. Little daft things that can just spiral into everything's wrong, everything's terrible, and it's just acknowledging, going, why? Come on, brain, and you just have to talk to yourself like it's one of those little comics, and you just come on. No, we're gonna have a nice day, and it is just
again, it's just
practice, and just and allow yourself, if it's not a wedding and you're not feeling good for whatever reason, have some time off, have a bad day. I read something once, it was treat your mental health like your physical health. So if your brain doesn't feel very well, have a duvet day. Don't stress about everything unless it's something.
Obviously, not a wedding day.
Yeah, not on a wedding. No, that's what I said. Not on a wedding day. But yeah, that's very important to us. Is looking after. Not last year, it wasn't.
Last year was just a different story.
We just ran through that and just did that.
Burnout. I'll deal with you later.
Yeah. But just realizing, just listening to your body and just listening to what's going on, and then you can work with it. That's more.
It is a struggle, but the more you do practice this mindfulness and trying to get a positive mental attitude, the easier it becomes.
Yeah.
And it's something that takes years rather than weeks.
Yeah. And I guess that kind of all feeds back into, you're choosing this positive attitude, you're making a point of being mindful. That all goes back to enabling you to take fun photos, enabling you to book those chilled out couples that want to have a great time on their wedding day and just let you do your thing. And I guess kind of, your whole business foundation, everything it's built on is around you guys making sure that you're positive and that you're feeling good on a wedding day, or, there's no other option.
Yeah.
So anything that we didn't like, we just let it go. Just let that fall by the wayside. So everything that we do now is just things that we're happy with.
Yeah. Although we were doing little highlights videos. We took them off the website last Christmas. We hadn't booked any for ages, so we took them off the website. We're doing 4 this year now. Because people have just started asking, and we're like, because we want to help them as well. And we're like, well, we can do them. Okay. Have a look, see if it's what you're after. And because it's all about, again, something I learned early on is we're there for our couples. So on the day, I go in, I want fun shots, I want this, I want that. It might be a really serious day, and we might be in a really serious venue, and they've booked us for maybe dance floor. They're going to have a crazy time on the dance floor, and then in the daytime, we had one wedding last year. It was beautiful, absolutely looked like something from Vogue magazine on the day, didn't it? And we just look at each other and go, we're in the wrong place. But then we shoot it, and it looks exceptional because we can still shoot like that. It's so weird. We can still shoot those really classy.
Well, yeah, I think the empathy is the main driver, isn't it? You see what your couples are feeling and how they are on the day, and you just react to that. And
we're very in tune. That's one thing I think we've got quite good at as well, is feeling our people on the day, kind of thing. No, you know what I mean. But being in tune with them, because if they're sort of like, you can sort of, even when we just go into portraits or we go into certain aspects of the day, and if they're being lovely and romantic, they'll get lovely romantic photos. If they're having a great time and laughing, they'll get laughy photos. We don't force what isn't there.
Yeah, again, it's not having expectations, it's just shooting what's in front of you.
Yeah. And I always used to say the same about our editing as well, because people used to be like, oh, light and airy or dark and moody, and I'm like, well, if you get married in a barn in November, it's going to be dark and moody photos, and if you get married in a field in the middle of June on the longest day of the year, which we've done, on the hottest day of the year, it's going to be bright and sunny photos. So we've never really, every aesthetic has been true to that wedding and only that wedding. So that's why I used to look at our portfolio. It used to wind me up because it just used to look like such a mash of so many different types of weddings and outfits. We'd have black tie one week, and then we'll have tie dye the next week, and it'll just be sort of that. But that's our people, and we love them, and that's how they come. And everyone has their different backgrounds. We get a lot of very serious couples as well: doctors, police, teachers.
Those are the messiest dance floors.
They're the messiest.
I was going to say that love a good party.
Last year, I think pretty much everyone was a teacher, but apart from the 2 lots of policemen. I think there was teachers or teaching assistants, something where they can't really go crazy in the daytime, but on their wedding party. It is on kind of thing. So yeah, the
Like that. What's the question again?
yeah. We went a little bit job interviewy there, I will tell you that. That's how it all comes together. Yeah.
Absolutely. But that, again, it all feeds back, doesn't it? You know, how you are with your couples, how you're connecting with your couples, how you're getting to know them, how you're shooting for them, all feeds back into everything that we're talking about. So although it feels like we've maybe gone off on a bit of a tangent, in the same way we haven't, because it all comes back down to it, doesn't it?
It was related, see?
Yeah, well, I think it's all connected, isn't it?
It is all connected. Because we did it when we did this talk we did a few months ago. Can we say who we talked at? It was a little Snap event.
Oh, I love Snap.
So in Leeds, we've done a little talk at Snap a few years ago, and then this was this was like a kick up the bottom for 2022. So it was talking about our creativity, and we literally
and our routine
and our basically and how we set goals. That was the other thing we talked about, how our goals had led to our rangefinder and everything like that. So that was all coming together. And when we talked there, what was I going to say? But that was the crux of our Snap talk, was the creativity and how we can all do this. How it all ties together. How it all ties together. We can all do this. We can all go out and be creative and have an amazing time and shoot lovely weddings with great people. The thing that we realised when we were trying to write this talk was, because we were only, it was like half an hour on a specific little subject about it was about creativity, wasn't it? It was literally about how do you go and get creative shots, and it was like, well, we go up high, we go down low, and the thing to start with that, we need our website to be the way it is. It's like from the very first moment a client sees us, we need to see our website or a picture and go, oh, these are the people for us, and then we know we're going to be able to mess about with these people and have a good time. And every stage of the process, from the emails we send out right to the end as well, on social media, to how we react on the dance floor to people. It all ties into how we dance on the dance floor with people. One photo, it's crazy to think about. It's so hard to define in one thing. And we get close as well. That's like one of our other things that we've done. We start close, and then because most people have never got married before, and they've never had a wedding photographer, so they generally, it was a little bit trickier last summer. But it was like, if you start close, people are like, oh, this is how it's supposed to be. But we're not, because we used to say we're ninjas, we're this, we're that, and we're not ninjas. We like Studio Ninja, but we're not. we don't hide with long lenses at the back of the room, because then you can't get photos that you feel and that are like, you can't react to moments when you're like 20 foot away. Absolutely. So I shoot on a 24mm most of the day. I have an 85 as well, but most of the time for when I can't get to where I need to be. But most of my stuff shot on a 24mm. Yours is equivalent, isn't it? Yeah, or little Fuji crop frame. Canon, Fuji. We're a mishmash of a mess of so many things going on. Just whatever camera we could afford. Whatever we could afford at the time. We'll have that. And you too can be awesome. With a load of. It's like a bag of Frankenstein, basically, with a load of old junk. So it's not about how amazing, like the gear you've got. It's not about sort of all of that business. It's just about being present and feeling what's going on, and trying for something different, and enjoying yourself.
What a bombshell. So guys, if you could start your entire career all over again, is there anything you'd change, anything you'd do differently?
No, I was thinking about this. I've been thinking about this a lot, and it's like, because we wouldn't be where we are if it had have gone differently. It's gone really well for us. Yeah, I would have been myself earlier. I would have stopped trying to be 15 other people at once before for a couple of years, but then I wouldn't be where I am. You wouldn't have known how to do that without failing at trying to be someone you are. I wouldn't have learnt those lessons if I had. No. I know we started taking photos sooner. I would have liked to have been younger. Yeah. My knees hurt a lot the day after nowadays. My knees hurt all the time anyway. But just a few years early. But then again, we wouldn't be in the same position if we'd have started younger, because we might have given it up by now. Or But we're both like, I'm 40. You're 42 now, aren't you? You're nearly 41. I'm nearly 40. No, I'm 41 in July. So we're over 40. So it doesn't all have to happen quickly when you're young.
And absolutely. If you could add a final piece of advice, maybe something that has made a massive difference to your business or your personal life, what would that one piece of advice be?
So for me, it was wedding photography wise, it was to spend a lot less time on social media, just looking at other photographers' pictures. I mean, to start with, it was good as a little guide to see, what you could do and what sort of thing was kind of expected of you. It was good to get started, but pretty soon into my wedding photography career, I just stopped looking altogether. Just so it helped me to be myself more.
Yeah.
I just show them things now. Oh, look at this! This is cool. Oh, look at this.
And also, there can be a lot of negativity in Facebook groups with wedding photographers moaning about a lot of stuff. It's good to be aware of things, but sometimes
that's where it all came from.
You can wallow in it.
That's where a lot of our stuff came from, was just me seeing people hiding in the toilet and going, why are they hiding in the toilet, and getting really frustrated on their behalf. And I used to kick off, and that's where Go and Get Me came from. That's where all the creative magic stuff that we do comes from. That's where everything comes from, is me getting annoyed with someone in a toilet. Basically, it's just a story of my life, really. It's sort of toilets. My piece of advice, I have two. I couldn't think of one. Being yourself, which is the cliche one that I know everyone says, but being yourself from the off, because we are unique, special individuals, but there are only one of me and one of him. And when we come together, it does really work, and having that sort of impact has worked. We've found it's worked better than trying to be lots of other things. Yeah. But also looking after ourselves.
Self-care.
Yeah, looking after your brain, looking after your body, looking after your gear, just everything, just like really making sure that you're all right, because then you can do your best job.
Yeah, you're not worrying about anything else.
And you're not worrying about anything else. Yeah.
Amazing. Two fantastic pieces of advice. Thank you, guys. If our listeners would like to find out any more, get in touch with you, come pick your brains, have a look at your work, where can they do all those things?
emmaandrich.co.uk.
Perfect.
Is the website. On there, there's us. We do have a little bit now for people started asking us for. We've been doing some mentoring, so we've been doing some creative magic mentoring.
Awesome.
There's a little bit on there under the contact. There's a for photographers page, so we do that. We do portfolio reviews. Awesome. So that's something else we didn't touch on, is curation. We've heavily curated our work. We did touch on a little bit how we show what we want to shoot. And the curation is such a massive part of that, which feeds into everything again of getting who you want to shoot and all that business. Yeah, and I'd have maybe curated better. That's something I would have done earlier on. So that's something we only learned to do a few years ago. But we offer help with that, and help with, because it's getting a second pair of eyes. Any second pair of eyes or third pair of eyes is one of the most important things you can do. Because you either love something or you might hate something that's actually amazing. And vice versa, so it's always good to get other people in there. Creative stuff, there's a website. What else do we do?
We've got an Instagram.
Got Instagram, Facebook page.
Although I don't go on it.
I do some street photography. You can find our street photography through our website as well. I do a little bit of that.
That's good for creative boost, as well as going out and having your own little projects to do, isn't it?
Yeah, if you're stuck in a rut and
just to find stuff that you love doing, and that helps.
Yeah, very much so.
The fires rekindle.
It helped us realise that Richard doesn't like doing street photography. All the times I tried to force him to do it, and he was like, I don't like this. I really don't like this. And I was like, well, you just go sit on a bench and have a bacon sandwich or some chips, and I'm just going to wander up and down the seafront for 3 hours. But yeah, we do that now, don't we? And we shoot weddings.
Question was, where can she find it?
Oh, where?
Yeah.
Website.
Yeah. I think the website's the main thing,
Yeah. But we want to talk to more people, and if anyone wants to ask us any questions, we welcome questions and chatting, and we're friendly and personable.
Well, you are.
I am. So I'll talk to anyone.
You both are.
We're good together. Honestly, it's good together. It works together so well.
It does, definitely. Well, guys, I can't thank you enough for coming and chatting with me. You've given loads and loads of knowledge. I've already learnt tons, so listeners definitely will have done. So thank you both for that. Hopefully one day in the future, now COVID's settling down here in the UK, we can maybe catch each other at Snap, or go out for a drink sometime. It'd be lovely to meet you both.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we haven't seen anyone for. Well, we did. We saw some people in Leeds the other week when we did that little talk. That was lovely. They're doing. I think Snap are doing some little events this year.
Yeah.
So in the UK, there's going to be little bits and bats here and there. So we might see people, which would be nice. see some humans.
Absolutely, definitely. Well, thank you both again, and I'll catch you very soon.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
Thanks. See you later. Bye. Okay, guys, that's everything from me today. Thank you so much again to Emma and Rich for coming and joining us on the show, giving us loads of top tips and hints and tricks that they keep up their sleeves when shooting a wedding. If you'd like to see the show notes, you can head to www.studioninja.co/episode 59. As always, please don't forget to rate us on the podcast platform that you're listening on. A little bit of love goes a very long way. I'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening to this episode of NinjaCast, brought to you by Studio Ninja. Beautifully designed and super easy to use, Studio Ninja will help you manage your leads, clients, shoots, invoices, contracts, workflows, and so much more. To learn more or start your 30-day free trial, go to www.studioninja.co.